Okay, Liz, so it seemed at first glance that you and Peter were running the show over there on the Brains Tribe. In fact, I thought you guys might even be the final two, and then came along Hurricane Debbie, and she completely ruined your game. Is she the reason you think you're sitting here today?
No, I'm the reason I'm sitting here today. I did not do a good job of making myself loved by my castmates, my fellow tribe mates, and that's ultimately what gets you in the game, is if you can build those strong relationships you need. I really rubbed Debbie the wrong way, apparently, and Joe wasn't particularly fond of me either, and then Neil and Aubrey thinking we wanted to vote them out, so I'm left with one person who wants to keep me, and so that's my fault. Debbie played it very well. She's a good strategist, so kudos to her on that, but it's my fault.
It's kind of funny watching the first two episodes. Debbie seemed kind of like a kooky, crazy person, and then she actually knows how to play the game, it turns out.
Yeah, I think like when I first met her, and like when you guys first see her on TV, that like kooky, big talk thing is just so big, it's almost hard to see beyond that. But I think when you like get to know her better, like there's a lot more to her. Like she's sharp. I thought she was going to be somebody like Coach, who you just kind of like flatter him and like, and then he likes you. And I think maybe I even like laid it on too thick with Debbie, and that's what bothered her, because I like treated her like she was a sort of Coach-like person. I know Coach is a real person, but just sort of the way he's presented on TV is like a character type.
I have to talk about when you told Debbie, I think that it was a blessing in disguise. You guys lost the challenge. The editing really tried to kind of twist the knife into your back, didn't it?
That was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I expected a much harsher edit there.
Oh, really?
It was a bit of a relief.
Let's talk about the tribal council. There was a tie, 2-2. As soon as you saw that tie come out, did you know right then you were going home, or did you still think there was a possibility it would be somebody else?
I still thought it was going to be Peter. I thought that they wanted to vote Peter and also voted for me as cover, but it was the other way around. So it wasn't until after the second round of votes started that I knew.
Right. And I guess they did the tie because they thought one of you had an idol. Was there any idol searching out there? Because we saw, actually, last night, the Brawn people and the Beauty tribe both found idols last night. We
were searching a lot all the time on Brains, and there was so much talk about where idols might be. Maybe there are no idols. Maybe we talked about, all the possibilities, and we were searching a lot. Like when we won the first challenge and came back to our beach with a big fire-making kit, the first thing Neil did was dumped everything out and looked through it for clues. It was just very much just a known thing that people were looking for idols. People wanted idols.
Last week I talked to Jen, and she said she didn't really like the twist of the Brawn versus Brain versus Beauty. What about you? Did you like this twist, or did you wish they had done something else?
At first I was kind of excited because I felt like the Brains would probably be like my people. I might find it more easy to relate to people who like self-identify as being like, I don't know, smart in one way or another. People I tend to be, like, more of my friends in real life tend to fall into that, like, educated category of people who probably would have been put on the Brains tribe had they played. So I thought that was going to be good for me at first, but I think, like, later in the game, having the Brains label on you is always going to make it a little bit harder to have people, like, fully trust you, feel like they can rely on you. So, I didn't make it far enough in the game for that to matter. But I think, like, for the remaining Brains, that will end up not helping.
Right. I really love that the first two episodes, the Brawn people, the strong people, lost both challenges, and the Brains did really, really well the first two. That must have made you guys feel pretty good.
Oh, my gosh. We all, like, acted all like confident, like, oh, we got this before the challenge. But I don't think any of us seriously thought we had like that much of a chance. So it was kind of surprising and awesome when we won.
Now that you're watching the show on TV after almost a year ago you guys filmed this, is there anyone on the other tribes you think you could have worked really well with?
The beauty tribe, I think the three girls who bonded so strongly right at first, we've seen that in 3 episodes now. I think I could have fit in with them. I think also in the beauty tribe, Ty seems like somebody that I would really enjoy being friends with. And based on what we've seen so far, like Caleb seems delightful as well. Nick, I mean, I guess like we really haven't seen much of him. That didn't strike me as like best friend material. And on the Braun tribe, I think Alicia's adorable and like so positive, so strong. Sydney seems awesome. I mean, I think I would have loved working with Jenny and Darnell. Not so sure about Scott and Jason yet. They feel like they've been maybe unnecessarily harsh to Alicia from the way like I've watched it. I don't really know like any more than that.
So there's 5 people left on the Brains tribe. Who do you think has the best chance of winning the $1 million? Who's got what it takes?
I would say Aubrey, followed by Neil. Aubrey is very socially adept. She had her anxiety incident done day 1, but sort of found her stride after that, figured out what she was doing, and I think she was the only one on the Brains tribe who seemed like she could get along with everybody, and that is a huge, huge strength. And she might not look like the super muscly, like, I don't know, Sydney or like Scott Pollard or like huge challenge threat, but like she was the only one on the Brains tribe who could like hold her breath for a minute and a half to go underwater and fetch an oar. Like these are the skills that get you far in challenges, not like the big muscle, whatever.
That's interesting because after the first episode, I thought maybe she would just quit because she seems so out of her element. But
she was like on the verge of quitting, and Debbie and I talked her out of it. And then like, you know, later getting to know her better, seeing how strong she is, I thought that like there was part of me that wondered if like she almost staged that to like seem more vulnerable, less threatening. But like I don't think that's actually true. But I mean, if we'd lost the first challenge, that might have gone badly for her. I mean, probably not. I think Debbie would have gone home. But I think overall, like being perceived as somebody who is a little bit weaker, but not the weakest, is probably a good thing in the game.
And next week it looks like there's going to be some kind of an injury. The medics are called out. It really brings home that this is real. You guys are really out there in the jungle and the wilderness. Did you have any injuries that you brought home with you? Any cuts or bruises? Any worms in your ear or anything like that?
I had rather nasty staph infection, and a few days after I was voted out, they sent me to the hospital in Phnom Penh. I had like all the infected staph tissue cut out, my shoulder, my back, my armpit, my knee. I had these like big gaping holes, like 4 inches down to the muscle, and then after a few days there, they sent me back to the States. Actually, I didn't even get to go on the pre-jury trip because they needed medical attention, and they had a plastic surgeon put the wounds back together.
Oh my goodness! They could almost film this and have another show, like the actual death of Survivor.
Oh my gosh!
But you're okay now?
Oh, I'm fine. I got some kind of cool scars actually.
Wow. And final question, Liz. Even though you were voted out third, did you still have fun? Is this something you look back on and remember, you know, fondly for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I'd say the fun of the game is a bigger memory than the unfun parts. I loved running the challenges. I loved surviving out there. It was great. And just like meeting a group of people who I think some of them will be my friends for a long time.
Nice. Well, it was great talking to you today. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Okay.